Well, the word gap is a stunning finding that refers to the disparity in the number of words that children in poverty hear compared to children from more advantaged backgrounds. This finding was identified by Betty Hart and Todd Risley from the University of Kansas almost 20 years ago. This disparity in total number of words that children hear also translates to the size of the vocabularies that children have by the time they're 3. That's an important disparity because vocabulary, we know, is really critical for later reading skills. It's an important predictor of how well children will be able to read later on. They really go into kindergarten at a big disadvantage.
We know that right now, during the first 3 years of life, a child born into a low-income family hears 30 million fewer words than a child born into a well-off family. And if a Black or Latino child isn't ready for kindergarten, they're half as likely to finish middle school with strong academic and social skills.
Why hasn't it been possible to see a reduction in the gap between lower income and higher income children in terms of their vocabulary? Why does this disadvantage persist? We were funded to develop an infrastructure of people, of researchers, of policymakers, of funders, of practitioners who could finally do something to move the needle on this issue of the word gap. And so what we've been trying to do is gather up all these disparate forces and find out what we know about what works in bridging the word gap and what don't we know. And so what research needs to be done around the issues around the word to be able to make a difference in these children's lives.
Let's find new ways to deliver a world-class education to our children, bridge the word gap, and put more young people on a path to success.
If there are researchers or even if there are practitioners or policymakers who want to get involved in doing the research with us, in delving into the research literature, they can become part of our work groups. Another way is that we're looking for people who can be commenters and responders to the products that we develop in the networks. And then third, if people just want to keep up to date on what we're learning through the network, then they can join our mailing list, they can get it onto our website and get connected to the different social media venues that we're engaged in and keep up to date on the things that we're learning through the network.